don't it doesn't matter how many times I rewatch the Walking Dead video game or how many times I played it. Kenny will always be my favorite character in a Walking Dead game because I feel like he was very complex, and he was very developed. I absolutely love Kenny, and I feel like when I watched the video game, in season one, he was a very heavy character. Like in season two, people who play it or whatever who watch the game act like they don't understand where that overprotectiveness come from, and I feel like Kenny has always had that since season one. Since season one, he's always had that overprotectiveness. Since season one, he's always given leader, giving out orders and things like that and such. But in season one, he's always been overprotective of his family. He had to be because it's his family. So if he goes somewhere, his family was his number one priority. And I feel like when Kasha and Duck died, he was just in his own headspace. He had every right to be because he was very consumed with guilt, which is something you really see that like carries with him in season two. He was carried with guilt, consumed with guilt with Kasha and Duck's death, with Sarita's death. He feel like he's the blame for their deaths. Like one of my favorite scenes with Kenny is when him and Clementine were talking by the fire in season two. Now, I'm not saying Kenny and Clementine's relationship is better than Lee and Clementine's by any means, but I really do enjoy Clementine and Kenny's relationship. What I do like about their relationship is that it's more adult like. Kenny doesn't look at Clementine as a child. He doesn't treat her as a child. He treats her like she's an equal. He treats her like she's an adult. He makes her make her own decisions. He allows her to speak her mind like an adult. There's a very mutual respectful relationship. With Kenny relationship with Clementine is to keep her safe, keep her very well protected. With Lee, it was like that, but for the most part, it was to protect her innocence in the world. He did not want her to stop having that child-like mentality or her to stop being sweet and nice just because she's thrown into this type of world. Her being safe was by precaution, so she could at least learn how to keep herself safe because if Clementine didn't keep herself safe, she's going to end up dead. But I do really enjoy her relationship with Kenny, but I knew by the campfire, the not the campfire, but the scene when they was in the cold with Kenny and Clementine, when Kenny said that he felt like, he would do anything to change what happened in the past, and that he's consumed with guilt because when he should have been there for Katya and Duck, he wasn't because he was working all the time. So when they died, he felt like he was consumed with guilt, and I just felt really bad for Kenny because I feel like the weight of guilt really was on his shoulders. And one of the main things about season two that really pisses me off is how everyone in the group puts Kenny's character down. Everyone drags him. Everyone sees him as this type of monster. Like every second, you're gonna hear Bonnie, Mike, or Luke or Jane say, "Oh, Kenny this, Kenny that." Jane was manipulative as fuck. I just want to say that this video is not gonna be that long. I think I honestly feel like Kenny is the best character in the Walking Dead game, and for all that shit that everybody was talking about, oh, he's gonna get everyone killed. Look at Jane. Jane came back in episode 5 of season 2 and told Clementine she would never abandon her. You know what happens when you pick Jane at the end of season 2? You do know what she does to herself in season 3 of the game? This bitch kills herself because she didn't want to raise a child of her own or help raise a kid with Clementine. She saw them as burdens, liabilities. Literally. That is what she told Clementine at episode 4 when she said she wanted to talk to her alone. Jane was manipulating Clementine from the beginning, and it makes sense for her to be manipulative because Clementine is a child looking for guidance, looking for trust with adults, and Jane is a loner who's been on her own, who knows a lot about survival. But Jane is selfish and doesn't think of anyone on her own. So I don't know how Clementine didn't see the game, but Clementine didn't see it because she's a kid. She was fucking with her mental. But when you watch the game, Jane's tone is very manipulative. From the beginning, she called Rebecca a liability. She called Kenny a liability because of their situations. This bitch is like so manipulative. From the beginning, she was manipulating Clementine's head. She was basically manipulating her into leave Sarah in episode 4. Like Clementine said, that honestly should have been Clementine's first red flag of her. You went in there, man. Went in there, so ready to save her. But then, as soon as the shit got tough, you was the first one ready to go, saying we should leave her behind. Same thing with Luke. I don't know why people look at Luke like he's just this best, like some good character in the Walking Dead game. after watching it so many times, I don't think so. I really think Luke was really looking out for himself because it's so much shit that he would say that just contradict what he's supposed to be. How the fuck? Why the when they episode 4, right? And it's so crazy that he said this. He said when they said it was time to go, he was the first one ready to go. Fucking saying fuck Clementine, fuck Jane, fuck Sarah. If it was a way for him to leave them hoes behind, keep them trapped in there with the walkers, he would have done it if it means keeping himself safe. You feel me? He let Luke go. He let Nick go out there all by himself to try to find people. Why? That was dumb. That was stupid. Like they killed Nick off. Like they were just racking those people up. Like all those people were dying. It was just stupid. Like Luke. Like when Carver came and attacked the group in episode 2. I remember Clementine asking Kenny, where Luke at? He said when he saw the people arrive, he left. And it's like, Luke, you leave us when we need you, and then you just pop up in episode 3 and act like all should be forgiven. I don't think any of us should have been like as like welcoming to him because it's like you left us. Like, why the fuck was you not there when we all got captured? And then it's like your dibbity dumbass don't do shit to help us because when you was hiding out and shit like that, nigga, you get caught and it throws us all into the fire, all into the ringer because you were hungry. Then nigga, you could have just got captured and you still could have ate. Like what the fuck? Like it was just stupid. Because Kenny getting his eye fucked up, that is all Luke's fault. They all were trying to help Luke's stupid ass when he should have just been there when they all was getting captured. But his cowardly ass escaped as soon as he saw them coming. Get the fuck out of here. And yet everybody on that truck was defending him. But yet everybody puts Kenny down. Don't nobody hold Luke accountable for anything. Because honestly, I would look at him as like, you're not someone that's trust. Like, you can't be trusted. How the fuck you just gonna leave when we all get captured and then talk about, I followed y'all for miles? Which in of itself makes no sense. That don't make sense. How did Luke keep up with a driving truck for miles from the fucking lodge? That don't even make sense. What did he do? Travel on foot? How long is house? Like from the lodge to house, how long is it? Like that don't even make sense. That never makes sense to me. I'm like, wait, Luke traveled on foot, so why is it in some scenes you can't see him? Like they was out in the woods, right? How come no one was able to see him? That don't even make sense to say that he traveled on foot. That makes no sense. I feel like they could have just scraped all that and Luke could have got captured with them, but I don't think he's as good as people try to pretend to be. Because in episode 4, this nigga was supposed to be watching the surroundings of where they were at. This nigga just goes on to have sex with Jane like you forgot what you were supposed to be doing, and then season 4, I'm not season 4, episode 4, he's still trying, like, he's mad when Jane leaves. It's like, bro, there's other shit to be worried about other than when's the next time you're gonna get laid. Like, are you serious? That shit blew me. Like, Luke is really not all that good of a character like people try to make it seem like. And he pisses me off. I'm gonna get back to Jane, just give me a minute. He pissed me off when he tried to tell Clementine in episode 4 that that Kenny is reckless and he's broken and that he's becoming a liability and such. And you know, Clementine had to check him. However you play it, she's gonna check Luke. But I feel like people judge Kenny and it's so fucking irritating. Like underneath that is a broken man. Underneath that is a man who's lost everything. Don't nobody understand because y'all ain't lost shit. Because y'all don't get it. Kenny is allowing his losses to affect him in a different way while y'all just keep going. For other people, they can't just keep moving. Like they can't. Some people can't just be like, oh yeah, life goes on. Some of them need to like be in the darkness, and I don't think Kenny was in the darkness. Like I said, I think Kenny was very consumed with guilt, and that's why it weighed on his shoulders. That's why he was very protective of Clementine, very protective of Alvin Jr. Because he didn't want to make the same mistakes again, where he's not there, not able to protect them. He wants to do the things. He wants to do things right. But Luke pissed me off when he said that. It's like, nigga, fuck you, bye. And Jane, she was just manipulative as fuck. Her every time she spoke, it was manipulative. Like I said, the first time she mentioned Kenny's being a liability because of his situation, and then when she shows up in season 5, episode 5, she's still manipulative, telling Clementine that everything that's going on with Kenny or the people he's lost is changing him, and Clementine's gonna have to put that in check. And then when they're in the cabin, when Kenny's fixing the car, she's telling Clementine that she's known Kenny for a long time, but sooner or later she's gonna have to realize how much is that worth. Trusting him, basically saying that he beat that boy an inch of his life. He beat Carver's head in and figure out he could sleep at night. And it's like, girl, what are you getting at? Like, she's just so manipulative. When it's like, honestly, you're the manipulative bitch, because for you to fake pretend that you killed a child just to get a rise out of him, to try to prove whatever the fuck she was trying to prove, you're something's not wrong. Something is not right with her. Like, I always agree with Kenny when he said this. She could have said at any time during the fight that AJ was alive. She wanted to fight, and for what? The bitch was just weird as fuck. She was weird. Everybody had it out for Kenny, and I really don't get it. Kenny was trying to keep people alive, but y'all want to go ahead and do your own thing and die. It is what it is. Don't blame it on me. I think Kenny is the best character in the Walking Dead game, and I feel like season 2 really raised the bar for his character. I feel like he had some of the best acted scenes, some of the best, you know, um, some of the best things that came out of his mouth when he was speaking. I feel like when Kenny spoke in the season 2 game, you definitely wanted to listen, and I really loved his moment with Clementine at the end of episode 5. Really, you choose to leave with him or stay in Willington. I'm a loyalty ass bitch. So when it came to me picking a choice, of course I chose to leave with Kenny because that's my nigga and I'm loyal to the end. Nigga, if we ride and die for each other, we gonna ride and die with each other, period. I'm not gonna be stuck in no place and wondering where you are. You feel me? So I feel like Kenny is a really good character. The people in season 2, the characters like Bonnie, Mike, and all of them, they're annoying as fuck. Like, I can't stand any of them. I can't stand Carlos. Some of them were cool. Like, I liked it, Pete. Nick was alright. I feel like he didn't get too much. I don't like Luke. I feel like Luke is a fake ass pretender. I don't fuck with Jane. I don't fuck with Mike. I don't fuck with Bonnie. I don't fuck with none of them niggas. Like, fuck all of them. Period. But like I said, Kenny is the real OG of the Walking Dead game. He outshines Clementine a lot in season 2, where it feels like maybe I should. It felt like it was his story, and Clementine was just living it. Like, this is his world and she's just a part of it. That's what I feel like sometimes when I was playing the Walking Dead Season 2 game. But that's all I have to say for this video. Like I said, it won't be too long. I'm going to catch y'all today. I'm going to upload my final Season 2 Episode 13 review. Let's get to it.